Education is important because it is the key to success.
Kwenda shule ni muhimu kwa sababu nitakanisaidia familia yangu maisha mbeleni.
Education is very important because it is light where there is darkness.
Education is important because it breaks the cycle of poverty.
Kenya has taken some rapid strides towards universal primary education. Whilst educational access and literacy rates in Kenya are above average for Africa, there are still rural areas where children have very little access to education. The arid and semi-arid land counties and urban informal settlements have the lowest enrollment rates and learning outcomes in Kenya. The Kenya Essential Education Programme, KEEP, beginning in 2012 and funded by the UK Department for International Development, is an ambitious and innovative 4-year program seeking to develop evidence-based solutions to improve access, quality, equity, and accountability in the education sector in Kenya.
The KEEP was designed to improve the affordability, accessibility, and quality of basic education in Kenya, targeting especially the most vulnerable children, being those in the ASL region and those in informal settlements such as Nairobi and Mombasa.
KEEP was divided into a number of project components: supporting complementary schools for equitable education, Succeed, Education Accountability Fund, EAF, School Development Fund, Cash Transfers for Education, and a Quality Innovation Fund. The Education Accountability Fund seeks to build transparency and accountability in the education sector. EAF focused on building capacity of students and community members to hold their schools and communities accountable for a safer environment, while also strengthening the capacity of the communities and institutions in addressing violence against girls in and out of school.
We realized that for girls to access quality education, they needed to be the core of our programs. And therefore the reason why we chose Safe School for Girls, a program that was actually funded by DFID and managed by Adam Smith International. So based on that, first we start with the empowerment of the girl herself in and out of school. What are we calling empowerment? We're talking about training the girl on their rights, training the girl on understanding what the Constitution means for her, on understanding what the Child Act means for her, the anti-FGM policy again. So we take all that, put it in the most friendly language that the girl is able to understand. I am a human being, and therefore I am able to understand my right, not just to understand, to claim, but also to enjoy.
Transparency International Kenya, under EAF, aims to improve governance and accountability in the education sector through strengthening management systems at the national and county level. It also empowers students to demand for transparency and accountability within their schools.
Pupils also know that they can participate in what the teachers are doing. They now don't look at teachers as people who are above. They can even interact, like when they are recording why the teacher did not come to class, they can discuss that.
Before Integrity Club, if a teacher did not come to class, we are taking that thing easy. We didn't report to the head teacher, and the teacher did not tell the pupils the reason, and to tell the head teacher the reason why he has not come to school.
During the election of senators, corruption was being practiced. The teacher favored who to be elected. So when Integrity Club was introduced here in 2014, Integrity Club members made sure election was done freely and fairly.
Under the EAF, the British Council and the Teacher Service Commission focused on updating the TSC Code of Regulations and Ethics, trialing a teacher appraisal and development system, and raising awareness amongst teachers on compliance.
We mainly depended on the inspectors from the office to come and see what we are doing. After the introduction of the TAD, it became a responsibility of every teacher to make sure that curriculum is delivered and at the right time. We now involve the learners themselves to be in charge of their education.
The time teachers spent in class was not being monitored. There was no record showing when the teacher would go to class and when the teacher would leave. It helps for accountability purposes. The teacher feels accountable and responsible for every activity that goes on.
EAF has also conducted a special needs education survey to improve awareness of disability prevalence and access to education for children with special needs in Kenya. Education in the arid and semi-arid lands remains substantially lower than the rest of the country, with a child in an arid and semi-arid land county 3 times more likely to be out of school than one in an urban district. The CDF project has improved school infrastructure, installed solar lighting, fuel-efficient cooking stoves, and rainwater harvesting structures.
Tuko darasa mpya, tunasoma vizuri. Ina madirisha mengi, imepakwa rangi vizuri. Sasa atunyeshei, tuna madesk mazuri.
We got a water tank. It has added more water capacity for the school, and up to now we have not started tracking water. And the girls are also getting more water than before. The ration we used to give maybe 3 liters. This time now we are giving them 5 liters.
We have the dormitory. Now that you are staying at school, we get time to learn and do all of our works.
The dormitories in some of the counties have also acted as safe houses for girls. And these again are cases we have seen both in Marsabit and in Samburu.
Through establishing environmental clubs, schools have also initiated tree planting and vegetable gardens.
Tumejihusisha na mradi huu wa Environment Club katika shule hii. German Agro Action wametusaidia kuleta maji kwa hiyo mimea, wametusaidia kutupatia shade ya shamba. Tukafanya porous spots irrigation na pia tuna sunken beds irrigation.
UKAID walipokuja walitusaidia kupata pads, tukawa tumekuwa wasafi, hatuchelewi shule. Na pia wale ambao walitoka walirudi shule.
GA kupitia UKAID ilitusaidia, tukaanza mambo ya kuzunguka. Tumefikia shule tofauti tofauti, na katika yale majibu sasa tumeona kwamba kwa sababu tulipoanza watoto walikuwa katika hizo shule 14 walikuwa 1320, lakini baadaye tukaona wamefika around 2000 children. Kwa hivyo at least kila shule haikosekani watoto 100 kurudi kwa shule.
The conservation GICO that we have got from NEF has really reduced the amount of firewood that we use.
So we are happy that the last 2 years there have been massive investment support from DFID.
To a large extent, one of the key achievements of this program has been improving the infrastructure. And this has really significantly improved not just in road access but also in terms of retention and attendance.
Succeed aimed to improve access to primary education for approximately 25,000 vulnerable and previously out-of-school children by paying their school fees.
Kabla tujalipiwa school fee na watu Succeed, tunafukuzwa kila siku.
I went home. If my father did not have money, I was forced to stay at home. And while people are learning, I really missed a lot.
Succeed vile ilianza imenisaidia kwa sababu at least hiyo pesa kidogo ninaweza ongezea kidogo nile nilikuwa namlipia hapa na hawa wengine.
Succeed project and in close collaboration with the Ministry of Education, we were able to come up with a training module targeting the boards of management. Through the training, we were able to take them through areas of record keeping, particularly focusing on financial records, mainly because of the fee funding component, which was very, very critical in terms of ensuring the children remained in schools.
As a BOM member, we've been trained on how to run the school and how to count for the money being collected at school, also how to recruit our teachers, and also to make our schools to be child-friendly.
The project worked with low-cost private schools in the urban informal settlements of Nairobi and impoverished areas of Mombasa.
Most of these complementary schools actually do not meet certain standards as required by the ministry, particularly given that the new guideline called the ABET that was recently approved by the ministry actually requires these schools to meet certain standards. So the program actually transitioned from giving school fees to actually improving access, improving the school environment to make sure that these schools actually meet the guidelines as required by the ministry.
There is the environment club, which was not in the school, and it started. We got a funding of the program, and we were able to plant trees in the compound. We were able to start a program whereby we are raising ducks, which are for sale.
It has even taught me how to water the plants and even how to keep poultry.
Before the project came, we had always concentrated on the public schools, and in fact, we didn't initially understand what the complementary schools were until this project came around. Most of these schools had no contact with the agriculture staff. And now they were being introduced to a package of environmental aspects they were running through what they were calling the environmental toolkit. And we came in along to give them the technical aspects that they were not aware of, so they got more enlightened.
Save the Children worked with 31 communities in Garissa on a cash transfer program aimed at improving school enrollment, attendance, and retention. The project provided cash transfers to 3,000 households to address financial constraints, restricting poor families from enrolling their children in school.
It was basically a research project based on the premise that there are still a lot of children out of school in the Asal area, and therefore the idea was we need to find out if you actually got rid of the costs associated with education, would children go to school?
In my district, we have got two main centers or households in Kalmagala and Mansabubu, where cash is being given to the households so that they can purchase of uniform, some other small items that might be the girls and the boys will require so that they can continue with their education.
The cash transfers benefited 5,155 girls and 7,360 boys. The project used both qualitative and quantitative evaluation to test the impact of conditional cash transfers as opposed to unconditional ones.
Save the Children give my parents some money to buy for me school uniforms and the books. Before I was not coming to school because I was studying.
The Quality Innovation Fund was one of the components of KEEP that focused on improving the quality of basic education in Kenya. There were three main projects under it, one by Media E, the No Zone program, one run by Research Triangle Institute, Primer, and the Wings to Fly program under Equity Group Foundation.
With DFID and USAID support, RTI's primary math and reading initiative expanded into rural areas in Bungoma and Machakos. The project tested variations of its interventions to determine the most appropriate method to improve early grade instruction and learning outcomes. The interventions include teacher trainings, lesson plans, provision of textbooks, mother tongue instruction, and continuous support through Teachers Advisory Center TAC tutors.
So Primer has been designed to address the foundational education level for children.
The introduction of Primer, children liked school and they could come to school every day. They could like reading, they could like even sharing the materials that they had.
The success of Primer led to its rollout in no primary schools in the country, now known as Tusome.
Napenda Tusome kwa sababu imenifundisha, nimejua kusoma vizuri Nimejua kuandika, naweza andika passage, naweza soma passage na nijibu maswali.
Equity Group Foundation's Wings to Fly scholarships program, funded by DFID, provided full financial support to high-achieving needy students.
I am a total orphan. I didn't have both parents, so I stayed with my auntie, and my auntie wouldn't afford fees for me. She's quite old and unemployed. So when DFID came along, it was a great step for me.
In addition to the financial support, Wings to Fly seeks to empower youth by nurturing leadership skills and creating role models.
Every August, we are asked by the sponsorship to go to talk to our little brothers who are still in high school. We mentor them. Since we are the products of the program, they can see us as their mentors.
DFID funded 600 Wings to Fly students, providing full scholarships for secondary school. In addition, the project was designed to support an additional 572 girls who were already in leadership positions within the schools to attend the Equity Group Foundation leadership and mentorship programs. No Zone is a TV series developed by Media-E. Following two successful series targeting Standard 4 and 6 pupils, the DFID-funded project developed TV shows targeting Standard 2 children. The project aimed to improve learning and performance of Standard 2 pupils in English, Swahili, and mathematics by reinforcing what is taught in schools each week. The series content was developed in conjunction with the official curriculum to ensure the show complemented lessons and acted as a revision of the week's work according to the syllabus.
In 4 years, KEEP has been able to achieve a lot and has had multiple impacts. Under Succeed, over 46,000 children in informal settlements in Nairobi and Mombasa benefited from the program. Within the Asal region, in just 2 years of SDF, over 231,000 children benefited from the SDF program. The early grade reading initiative has now been rolled out in all primary schools with the support of the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, ensuring the sustainability of the program. One of the greatest achievements, I would say, is the amount of government engagement that KEEP has had. Within the counties, the program has been able to leverage public finances in order to multiply the impacts of the program, as well as influence the way that the county government addresses issues of climate change or issues of education.
KEEP was designed to contribute to the achievement of the Millennium Development Goals of universal primary education and gender equity in Kenya.